Alright, so today we'll cover importing data, scraping data, and text processing. We'll see how this goes, and I called the tech guy to take a look at the speaker here. Okay. Alright, so there are some basic functions that are built into R that will read in data from a file, okay? And they are, things like scan, readline, read.table, or read.csv, okay? And I'm assuming you guys are already familiar with most of these functions here, okay? And if you're not familiar, I encourage you to at least look up the help files associated with these commands here. So we'll let me see what I can do. I don't know if that's going to help. Okay. All right. There are some really good packages. There should be a break here, but the packages readr. Give me a second. Okay, so there's packages readr, readexcel, haven, and data.table. Okay, readr, readexcel, and haven. These three were created by Hadley Wickham, and so they all have kind of similar usage. readr being kind of the general one that we use for CSV files and text files. If your data is stored in Excel or something like that, then readexcel is probably a good one. There's other packages for reading in Excel data, and you can always just look these up with Google. Just look up, importing data from Excel into R, and it'll pull up different solutions. But these ones are my recommendations. Data.table is especially useful if you have a very large data file. So, if you participate in something like DataFest, where you're getting files that are several gigabytes large, the recommended method will probably be fread, okay, which is very fast for those very large files. Yes.
Does the readexcel import in one long line, or it's a matrix like the Excel?
Yeah, it'll import it like the way it appears in the Excel file. Okay. It might complain. So in Excel, you can like merge cells together and things like that. It might complain if there's too much of that going on. But so I think part of there is kind of a general aversion to Excel among in the stats community, and I think it's because Excel is made for non-statisticians, so they, the data and the formatting is done on the same page, right? Like you can format your cells and make them merge things together to make a spreadsheet into looking like a report. Whereas kind of in the statistics community, we keep our data as data, and then if we want to create reports, we do that in a separate thing. And so as far as once an Excel file is transformed into kind of this report thing, it's difficult to extract that data back. Okay. So anyway, I recommend checking out these packages. Okay. So today I'm just kind of like listing off some packages that I think are good. I don't think we need to demo how to use these, but if we want to, we can. Okay. There's some good other resources to learn. There's package downloader. Okay, so there is download.file and things like that, or download and so all of these things. So I'm recommending these things, but you can just go to like our package downloader and then and read up on the manual on how this should be done. Okay, and so kind of the command is just download, and you put in the URL, which is about as simple as it can get in terms of usage. And downloader tries to just make things a little bit easier when you're trying to download files off of the internet. So sometimes in your scripts you'll want to use a data set that is stored online, and so kind of the traditional way was you would go in your browser, you would locate the file, you would download it to your local computer, and then from the local computer you would load it yourself, okay, using read.csv, or if you use readr, read_csv or something like that. With the advantage of writing in your download commands into your script file, into your own script file, is that you can give this the single script file to someone else, and they can just run the download commands directly in that file without you don't need to have separate instructions that say make sure you go to this location first and download it to your working directory, or you don't have to zip the data file into the script at the same time. So there are advantages to having download functionality inside the script itself. There is kind of a built-in command called download.file, but it's meant for just the most simple interfaces. So just your standard HTTP, whereas a lot of servers these days use HTTPS, kind of the secure protocol, and so download.file doesn't play nicely with that, and downloader kind of just adds some extra functionality to handle that. And of course everything doesn't work perfectly the first time around, so you might run into some problems, but generally these things are pretty good. Okay, there's also rcurl, but just makes things more complicated. So this might be useful if you're using neither HTTP or HTTPS. So if you're using like FTP or SSH, or I don't know, whatever it is. Okay. Okay, and then there's LibraDate, which I've mentioned, and this is makes handling of dates much easier, in my opinion. So we've let me come over here. Okay, so I'll load LibraDate. Okay, and then so here I have dates in the forms of different strings here. Okay, and to get them into dates, all you have to do is you just tell LibraDate the information here is in the kind of in the form day, month, year. Okay, so again, this is just string data. Okay, so sdate1, it's just a string. This is not actual data. So if I try to add like 3 to it, it says I don't know what to do. Okay, but you say the information here is stored in day, month, year. Okay, and then it turns it into a date object. Okay, it looks like it's still a string, but this is actually a date object now. Okay, day, month, year, and so I think I can just do I can add 3, and it's going to add 3 days to the date. Okay, so so this is very, very handy. Okay, you've got dates in the form of string date2. Okay, and all you have to do is tell LibraDate, you know what, this is in the form month, day, year. Okay, whoops, for string date2. Okay, and it says, oh, okay, now I know what you're talking about. All right, yeah, so I accidentally said month, day, year for string date1, and it looked at this and it says, oh, that doesn't make sense to me. But month, day, year for string date2, and it formats that, and then you can start doing calculations like add 3 days to that, or you can take differences between dates and things of that nature. Okay, like how much time is between time difference of 2,395 days. How many days were between August 6th of August 2005 and January 15, 1999. All we have to do is ask LibraDate, I've got one day in month, day, year, the other in day, month, year, and you can take differences, and now you've got date information. Okay, so it's quite nice. So LibraDate is quite nice. If we wanted to do anything, and then month, day, year for the other one. Okay, so whether it's written out this way or this way, LibraDate can handle it. All right. If we wanted to do it something like without LibraDate, okay, you would have to use the command as.date. Okay, and the way you do that is you import the string, but then you have to specify very clearly the format that it appears. Okay, and this is the help file for the formats. Let me just make my appearance a little bit larger. Okay. Okay, and then so without LibraDate, this is how we would have to do it. So we have the same strings, and you can say as.date string date1, and you have to do pound little d, pound big B, pound y to indicate that it's in this form. Okay, and with string date2, it has to we have to have it exactly like this. Now if you just have just something a little bit off, right, like you leave out the comma, okay, it's gonna choke. All right, and so this is annoying. Okay, whereas, and so if you have a form on the internet and you ask people to enter their birthday or something like that, people are going to type in their birthdays in different formats. Okay, and then so if you tried to apply a as.date to that vector of strings of what people typed in for their birthday, it's going to be a disaster because each row could have a slightly different format. Okay, whereas LibraDate will like I can create I think I'm gonna just combine sdate 2. Well, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work actually. Sdate 2 and sdate 3. All right, let's try this. Month, day, year for data. Yeah. So it just goes through them and handles it. So it's pretty good. Okay. So anyway, LibraDate. It's I recommend that. Okay. All right. So without LibraDate, it's a pain. All right. I want to also show this package Arvest. Okay, it's kind of very useful for scraping data off of the internet. Okay, you know, there's lots of different methods to get information from the web into R onto your computer, and you know there's read XML and different things, and I think Arvest is kind of one of the newer packages that that definitely deserves some mention here, and so I want to just kind of demonstrate how this works. So if you don't have Arvest installed on your computer, you should. So we'll load library Arvest, okay, and then wait, no, vignette Selector Gadget. Sorry. So this is kind of just a neat little thing. All right, so what you can do is on the internet, look up Selector Gadget, and it will say point and click CSS selectors, and then what you'll want to do is you'll want to click and drag this to your bookmarks bar, or it says try our new Chrome extension or something like that. Okay, and so we'll go to IMDb, which is the kind of the demo page that they have, and what we'll do is we're going to use the Selector Gadget to try to figure out how to extract certain pieces of information here. Okay, so on IMDb we can click one of these movies, and then you know we have the cast. Okay, and so on lots of different websites there is CSS, okay, which is kind of how the web page is being formatted. So there's this consistent theme, and so you know there's probably some kind of CSS tag for each of these things. Okay, and this is going to be the case for almost all major websites where the information being displayed is based on a database. Okay, which IMDb is a very good example of that. But you know, pretty much anything where, you know, if you and I were to create a web page, okay, we'd probably type things by hand. You know, it's like a personal page. We probably wouldn't fill it up with too many CSS selectors. Okay, I mean you might, but if we were to create a website that extracts information out of a database and formats it for the web, almost certainly we'll be using some kind of CSS-based selector formatting to get all of these things. So all of these things will be is in the form here. And so what you do is once you've used the Selector Gadget thing, it's just this little JavaScript thing, and you click it, and then suddenly you know, this little thing appears. Okay, and then we would just click and it says like, oh, you want to get, let's say we want to get cast information, okay? So I'm going to click this thing that says Ellen DeGeneres, okay? And and it shows, it kind of highlights the what it's going to select. So we don't actually want all of this yellow stuff. We only just want, we only kind of want the name. So we don't want all of this other stuff. So you kind of click this, and right now it's giving me a preview of what it's going to select. So I want the green part, and then everything else I'm going to click as red, and then we can see that, okay, this looks to be the correct tag that's going to get the stuff I want, okay? And it doesn't look like it's highlighted anything else, okay? So here it says based on, whoops, I don't want that. Based on this, well, it said that you were going to have 15 selected, so let me just kind of select this again. So here's one way it says this seems to be the tag that we're going to do, and so I would just kind of copy this, and we can use that for selecting these pieces of information out of this web page. Okay, and so so that's what we have, and so in order to read this in to our studio, let me just create the so what we want is we're going to go to the Finding Dory web page. Okay, this is our URL. I think this is it. Yeah, this will still get me Finding Dory, and we'll try this. So we're going to just say we're going to use the command read_HTML, and we're going to provide it with a URL, okay? And we're going to just kind of store this into an object called read_HTML, all right? And we can ask, what is HTML? And it says it's a list of 2, right? So we can ask, what's the structure of HTML? And it says we've got a node and we have a document, okay? So we've got all sorts of we've got stuff going on in this thing. All we've done is we've told Arvest to go to this address and extract that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to extract using this this selector that was told that we figured out through the Selector Gadget, okay? And we're going to tell Arvest to look inside this HTML file and find everything that has that particular CSS selector, okay? And the command we're going to use there is HTML_nodes, okay? And so we'll call this the cast list, and we're going to use the command HTML_nodes, okay? And what we want to do is we're going to say look into the file HTML and use this particular selector, which was generated to us by the CSS Selector Gadget, okay? Here, it's really just a CSS class, okay? So we'll run that, and we'll see if this worked, okay? And we can ask for the structure of cast. Okay, and it seems like it kind of pulled something, okay? So okay, yeah. So we have all of this. It's it says it's an XML node set. All right. So if we ask what the cast is, okay, we have all of this stuff. And so what we want is we want to extract the names that we see listed here. Okay. So we've got Ellen and Albert and Ed O'Neill and all of this stuff. So we want to, from that, the cast, we want to take out the text, okay? And so there's a nice function called HTML text, and we're going to feed it the nodes extracted from the cast, okay? And there it goes. It's pulled out the stuff here. So that is pretty great. Okay. So you can go onto pretty much any web page and using the Selector Gadget pull out bits of information out of here. So the cast list lends itself nicely to that, but anything else you can go to, like kind of this list of popular movies, and you can extract out using Selector Gadget. You can try to get I want to get all of these the movie titles, but then so you can see when I clicked Finding Dory here, it says, okay, well, I'm going to get you anything with the tag A, but that's going to highlight other stuff. We're going to say we don't want this stuff, okay, and we don't want this, and we'll just kind of scroll through the page to make sure nothing else that we don't want selected. Okay, so this all looks good. Okay, so if I give R this thing, then it appears that we can get kind of the list of the 100 most popular movies at the time. At the time of this thing is going to be this, and so we can just give it this. Okay, so we can use kind of the same command, read underscore HTML. We're going to give it that, and then we'll get a list of top movies will be HTML underscore nodes. Nodes because there's going to be 100 of them. Okay, and then we can just extract the text from top movies. And I think, I'm hoping this will be, yep, the list of currently the 100 most popular movies right now. Okay, so we can extract that out. Let me pause the video for a second here. All right, so I found the page that I was looking for. So what I'm going to load just a couple extra libraries, Stringer and data table here. Okay, so what we can do that's especially neat with Arvest is you can have it kind of automatically browse through a web page and follow links to further pages here. Okay, so let me so I'm going to create something called an HTML session. Okay, and so basically I'm going to give it this link, which is the page for the Lego movie, which is the example used here. Okay, there's like too much other crap loaded onto the website. Okay, so we can go through. We can have it follow these links and return back information. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an HTML session, okay, under with Arvest. So we use this this command called HTML session. All right, and so now there's like a you can pretend or imagine that there's a browser that R has opened, a web browser that we don't see at the moment. Okay, and we're going to kind of just we'll go through the it says oh, sorry, I have to create the cast list here. So sorry, let me go back. Okay, so this is you know, we've extracted the cast, okay, from the Lego Movie page, okay, and so we've opened up a session, okay, and so I'm going to create an empty list here, okay, and so we're going to just go through the we're going to create a loop here, and for each of these, what we want it to do is we're going to have it follow the link that says Will Arnett, okay? So, and then followed by the next one, Elizabeth Banks, and then Craig Berry. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this link, Will Arnett. It's going to go onto Will Arnett's page, and then once we're at Will Arnett's page, we're going to pull out using from the Selector Gadget, okay? We're going to try to get the movies that Will Arnett has worked on. Okay, so if we did Selector Gadget, and if I typed in B space A, which is the selector that I'm using here, we see that it's going to highlight the names of the kind of the movies from his filmography. Okay, so you know, I could have tried to select it this way, and then say, you know, we don't want all of this other stuff, and so this is a way to get Will Arnett's filmography using the path BA. Okay, and so that's going to see, we can look at the structure of the loop, and it says, you know, for each of these actors, it's going to follow the link that's titled Will Arnett, okay, and then it's going to read in the HTML. So I'm using the pipe operator, and it's going to store that into actor page, okay. And then within that actor page, okay, from that actor page, we're going to pipe that into HTML nodes to get a list of kind of the his filmography, and we're going to have it just extract the text and return the top 10 values, okay. And then we'll also just we're going to get kind of the years, and we're going to extract all of this, and so and we're going to also add the name. So we're creating a list called cast_movies, and it's going to return this stuff. So we can run through this, and you can see it working through here. It says each time it says we're navigating to this page, we're navigating to this page, and we're navigating to this page, okay? And then so we stored all of this stuff in this list that we called cast_movies. Okay, and we can see under, you know, cast_movies for Will Arnett, we returned the top 10 movies on his own IMDb page. Okay, so this is pulled from his page. Okay, and then using Selector Gadget, we're pulling the name here. Okay, we can clear that. Maybe we want to underscore. No, that's not the. Okay, and so we're using that to just pull out all of his the stuff. So the movie and the year he worked on it, and then his name, which sounds kind of silly. And then we did it for Elizabeth Banks and all of these things. I guess some of these don't have a year of releases yet. Okay. And then and so if we using kind of the list subset, we can just pull out just the one in particular for the first thing in our list, which would be correspond to Will Arnett, and then we can bind our lists as well. Okay, for all our three. If we want to combine them together using into one, if we wanted to go from a list into kind of a table. Yes?
Is it always BA? Like, how do we know?
No. So all of these things, everything that goes inside an HTML node, okay, the text that gets fed into an HTML node comes from the selector gadget. Okay, so here we'll follow. We'll try this. We'll do like a new thing. Okay, so let's say we wanted to. We'll go to. We'll try this out. We'll do most popular movies. Okay, and let's say we wanted information from the most popular movies. Okay, so we're gonna say we'll go through this list of we can extract the list of names of these top 100 movies, right? And then we can say, okay, for each of these movies, let's follow that link, and on that page, I want you to find maybe the top billed cast member, okay? Or maybe even just like the top 3 cast members from that movie page, okay? So let's try to build a loop here, okay? That will maybe go through this. Okay, so I'm going to create a new script here. Or well, this actually works. So we've got so we've done this, and we've used the selector gadget to select kind of, here's the list for the top 100 movies, right? Okay, so let's just do this for the first 5, because I think if we can do it for the first 5, then we're good. Okay, and so what we want to do is we're going to create a session, and basically I'm going to just kind of write it out. What we're going to do is like, so for each movie, follow the link. Okay, and then find the list of actors and return the top 3. That's what we want to do. Okay, so to get the list of actors, we're going to go over here, and we're going to use the selector gadget to figure out how can we get the list of actors. Okay, or perhaps maybe we don't want the list of actors. Let's say we want the okay, we want to get the list of the character names. Okay, so we're going to get Dory voice, Marlin voice, Hank voice, Destiny voice. Okay, and the way we're going to select this is by doing .character div .character a. Okay, so this is the way we select using the selector gadget. Okay, so we've shown how to do this. So this is how we're going to select it. And so I'm going to just write that here. Okay, and then so what we want to do is we want to create a session. Okay, so I'm going to do HTML_session, and we're going to go to this list of top movies. Okay, and what we want is we want it to kind of follow the link. So we already have the list of top movies, right? Which is we'll call this I don't know, movie names. And then so we want R to follow each of these links. So we'll just say for I in movie names, and we'll just do it for the first 5 in movie names, and we want it to follow the link. Okay, and I forget. We're going to start with our session. Okay, and so from our session we're going to say follow the link. Okay, and so there's a few ways you can do it. You can do follow link, and you're going to give it the session and then give it the path, okay? Which is going to be basically follow the link that says Finding Dory, okay? Or just using the pipe, we can say S follow link I, and then and we need to feed that into a kind of read HTML. Okay, and we want to store this, and we'll call this the kind of the movie page. And from that movie page, what we want to do is we want it to select the nodes that have this particular CSS selection. Okay, so we're going to say read underscore what is it, HTML underscore nodes. Okay, and what we want is we want the nodes that have this. Okay, and then from that we want to pull out the HTML text. Okay, and we'll call this character list. And oh, and then after we get that, or I guess we'll just call it characters. And then after we get those characters, we just want maybe we just want the top 4. Okay, so we'll say head underscore 4. And let's see. Oh, okay, but we wanna store this somewhere. Okay, so if I do this, well, we can just do we can just try this out, and we can say print characters and see if this works. Okay, so I hope this works. So we're gonna and I'll just create a we'll just create a empty thing right now. Okay, so we're going to create the list of movie names. We're going to create a new session, an empty place for characters, and then we're going to just say for the first 5 movies, follow the page, select the list of characters, and print those characters. Okay. Okay. It looks like it's worked, except it's just maybe collected a bunch of extra characters. So we've got /n. So we'll probably need to do some kind of string cleanup. But it says I went to that page, and then I found Dory, I found Marlin. Oh, and it looks like there's 2 bits to it, Dory and Marlin, and then whatever the next movie was, whatever that was called. So on the next movie, Independence Day Resurgence, the top characters listed there were Jake Morrison and David Levinson. Okay, and then if we went back and we go to the 3rd movie, The Conjuring Part 2, whatever that is, it followed down. It says the top things were Ed Warren and Lorraine Warren. Okay, so our thing is the thing is working. It's just maybe returning some extra characters, so we'll have to do some cleanup. But that's not too bad. Okay, and this is just a very powerful thing where you can give R a page with a bunch of links and say, I want you to follow this link, get the information on the page that you followed, and return it back. Okay? Yeah. Question. I don't know how to do that, but we'll try. Okay. So here we'll take a short break here. We'll take like a 5-minute stretch break, and then we'll continue on later.